Hi there. Today we're taking a look at section 4.5, Scatterplots. Sometimes you have a series of data points, not just a couple of them, and it usually has to do with some relationship. It always has to do with some relationship between the x values and the y values. Now, what we have here is just a sample of some data that was probably made up. It came out of the book. And on the x-axis, we have number of tickets purchased. Now, this would be at some sort of a county fair, maybe. And if you purchase tickets, then you have a chance to win prizes. So, as expected, you can see that the more tickets you purchase, the more prizes you are likely to get. So, along here, we have this, for example, this would be 4 tickets purchased and someone got 1 prize. 4 tickets purchased for someone else got that person 2 prizes. 6 tickets purchased got someone 2 prizes. 7 tickets purchased got someone 3 prizes. All right, so what we want to do here is to try to find the best fitting line for this scatter plot of data. Now, one thing to notice here is that the trend is upward, as you would expect it to be, and that's called a positive correlation. If the trend was downward from left to right, that would be a negative correlation, and if the dots were the points were just scattered all over the graph, that would be no correlation. All right, so what we want to do is try to find a best fitting line to represent how this data is moving upward. And usually to do that, now we'll do it on a calculator later, and that's a different story, but to do it by hand, you're going to need to take 2 points that are kind of representative of the direction of the data and use those 2 points to find the equation for a line. Now, my best bet, I think, is going to pick this point here, which is 4, 1. That would be this point. And to pick this one out here, which is 1910, right here, and that's the last one. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the first and the last point. I could, for example, have picked this one and this one, and I would get something similar, but not exactly the same. So if I take those 2 points, and first, here, I'm going to stand over here. First, I want to find the slope of the line. 10 minus 1 is 9. Over 19 minus 4 is 15. All right, 9 over 15, and I can simplify that to 3 over 5. All right, now I'm going to take that slope, 3 over 5, y equals 3/5 x plus some y-intercept of b. I will take one of the 2 points that I use. This one's obviously easier. 1 equals 3/5 times 4 plus b. This would be 12/5 plus b. And now I want to subtract 12/5 minus 12/5. All right. b equals, now 1 is 5/5. So 5 minus 12 is -7. So we have y equals 3/5 x minus 7/5. That's 1 2/5 down here. That would be right about here, which makes sense. It looks like that's about how that line is moving, but it doesn't make sense in terms of number of tickets purchased. In other words, if you bought 0 tickets, do you get -1.5 prizes? Not really. Makes no sense. On the other hand, we're looking for a mathematical equation here, and that's what we have. Now, another question might be, if we got out here to 19, what would the, let's say, how many prizes might we be likely to expect if we had purchased 30 tickets? So I'm going to put 30 in for x, and I want to find out what y comes out to be. So I do y equals 3/5 times 30 minus 7/5. All right, This cancels 1, 6, that's 18, minus 1 and 2/5, y equals. So that would be 16 and 3/5. Y equals 16, 1 is 17, 18. All right? In that case, what we're saying is, if we purchase 30 tickets, we might expect, according to this graph and this equation, to earn or collect about between 16 and 17 prizes. Those are called scatterplots. Now, there is a way to do this on the calculator, and let the calculator do the processing for you. And we'll do that in a different kind of video, which I can do later on today. But in the meantime, just keep in mind, please, that when you have a scatter plot and you want to find a best fitting line, what you're going to do is pick 2 points that look representative of the direction of the points. So that, in other words, I wouldn't have wanted to pick this one here and this one here, because that would be taking my line off in this direction, and that's not really how the points are flowing. They're going up more like this, which is why I picked this point and this point. And if you'll see, if I kind of sketch in that line here, that's the general direction of the line, and you can see that that goes up through the points much better than this one over here did. So the idea is to pick 2 representative points and then use them, as you know how to do, to find the slope and then the y-intercept, put them together, and you have an equation for what's called the best fitting line for a scatter plot. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.